Hello YouTube, this is my second video of my collection of vintage and rare point shoes. I filmed 28 pairs in my first film and now I have another collection here to show you. We'll start off with this pair, which is Domios, which is, I'm assuming it's a Greek pair of point shoes. I like the back, the picture of the dancer. I like the ribbons that somebody's sewn on. They're fairly unusual for point shoe ribbons. And you can see just about to make out the writing. It says Domios. Next to them is an old pair of black Gandolfi point shoes. You can see the Gandolfi Limited sign there. What's unusual about them is the block. Very rounded. Very unusual how you'd find difficult, how you'd be able to stand on point in those and balance properly, because as you can see, I hope the camera's picking up just how rounded and curved those point shoes are. They would be fairly old, I would imagine, those Gandolfi point shoes. Lovely pair. Next to them, I have not got a clue the name of this point shoe brand. If anybody has an idea of what they are, if they want to contact me on YouTube, I'd greatly appreciate it. They could be Capezio Duro toe for the obvious reasons that you're looking at now. The toe of the blocking, the covering that's on them. They could very well be that, but they're so old and in such a state I'm not able to make head nor tail of any kind of a marking or writing on any of the shoes at all. They're in fairly old, poor condition. Next is a pair of Contin Paris, made in the EEC. These are quite hard to come across and I don't think are being made anymore. Fairly generic at the back, not much to distinguish them between anybody else's point shoes really. The only thing that you can tell where Contin Souza is because of the name inside. But I do know that they haven't been made for a good few decades now and they are hard to come across. After Contin Souza, we have Etirel, and they are Etirel Senior, or Senior, I'm assuming the French for baby swan. They are a nice make-up point shoe. Again, these are brand new. I bought them from a shop somewhere abroad, can't remember where, must have been somewhere in France I think, and they're nice to have to add to my collection. The next pair I have are Bellini. Bellini's are handmade in London, England, it says on the inside of the label, and nothing much on the back to distinguish them between any other pairs of point shoes. If it wasn't for the inside label having Bellini written on it, it would be very difficult to know whose point shoes they were or who the maker was. So thankfully the mark on both shoes is still clearly visible for me to be able to tell that they are in fact Bellini point shoes. Next is a lovely black pair of point shoes that I've got a clue who made them or how long ago, but they look fairly old by judging by the soles of them. No make on them at all inside. What's interesting is the inside is stuffed with very old stuffing that I wouldn't even like to try and take out because I think the whole thing would disintegrate in my hands. Very old looking blocking inside both point shoes. They came in a box, a Chatilla or Chatilla and Company, which I think is a dancewear shop, was a dancewear shop in New York that doesn't exist anymore, which led me initially to believe that they were the name of the point shoes, but I've been told that there's no such company and it was just a shoe shop. So if anybody has an idea of the make of these point shoes, then I would be grateful if you could let me know. Thank you. Next is Dancer, made in Italy. Dancer is the make of, obviously, an Italian point shoe company. I don't know how old these point shoes are. They look as if they've never been worn. Lavorazione soft a mano, it says. Excuse my Italian. And that's the bag that they came in. Next are Porcelli. Porcellis are no longer for sale, but you can buy them on various budget point shoe sites that sell off point shoes for say £5 for a pair or something, old stock, and this is where I purchased these from. I Porcelli Milano, made in Italy. These ones were from a website in China, and they are a Chinese point shoe company called Vanessa, and it says on the back Vanessa Queen. They are Vanessa Queen point shoes, brand new. Well, I think they're brand new. They already have the ribbons on, so maybe I bought them from someone. I didn't certainly sew the ribbons on, but they've look like they've hardly been worn at all. Next we have Reart or Reart point shoes, R-E-A-R-T, Reart. If somebody wants to tell me on YouTube, contact me and tell me the pronunciation or whatever, if you're able to. I'd really appreciate that. They look like they've hardly been worn as well. No idea where they came from originally, what country they were made in. Another pair of Gandolfis, this time pink. Gandolfi. These are fairly old. They were darned. I pulled off one of the darnings on one of the shoes and left the other darning on. They're very old and scruffy. They need a good clean, as you can see by inside, but it's nice to have a pair of pink Gandolfis to go with the black Gandolfis that I have. Now I have, just reaching here. This is a pair of point shoes that I have no idea who the maker is. They are very old, judging by the condition of them. Again, they could be Capezio Durato because of the covering of the blocks. Inside the point of the shoes is, yes, I've just seen the make. They're Selvas, S-E-L-V-A, there it is, Selva. They're Selva point shoes. Great, I didn't know. I thought they didn't have any marks on them at all. There you go, Selva point shoes. They're fairly old, Italian originally I think, haven't been made for many, many decades. These are Stanlovers or Stanlower, quite modern. I think the company is still in existence. It says Stanlower Paris, and I think that's where the company is based still. Stanlower Paris there, and there it says Etude to Stanlower, so there must be Stanlower Etude point shoes. They cost me an arm and a leg off the internet. These ones are Inspire point shoes. It's Inspire the future of dance, they say. They have some foaming inside that's very kind of cushiony, and they're very tapered. Again, they have that soft kind of covering to protect the toes. The ones next to them are black canvas, and these are DiSalvo point shoes, or DiSalvo or Salvo. Maybe it's just something Salvo point shoes, S-A-L-V-O. They are black canvas, and again they look very old. After them is Schachtner, and they are an Austrian point shoes. Schachtner, handmade in Vienna, Austria. I bought them again off the Schachtner website, and they are brand new. As these ones are Karl-Heinz Martin. These were made in the 1980s. They are no longer in existence, but they are quite difficult to come across. So I bought these Karl-Heinz Martin Eva to add to my collection. Rumpf. This is a German company, Rumpf Anna. This is the Anna brand of Rumpf point shoes. Again, I don't know how many point shoes they still make anymore, or if the company is still in existence, but I bought them off the internet. And finally, Blansket, which is an Italian company. Again, I bought these off Italian eBay. They are similar to the Baryshnikovs in that they are beige canvas. So that is my second collection of point shoes, of the vintage point shoes that I have. Thank you very much for watching, and feel free to comment if you wish to do so. Thank you. Bye bye.